features of a state. There must be a territory, there must be a government, there must be a population, and there must be ability to enter into legal relations with others, into international relations with others. So actually Nigeria qualifies to be a state by international law because it meets the requirement of statehood. There is a distinction between a state and a nation. A state is identified by territory and other conditions which I just mentioned. But a nation is defined by identity. So the question is, what is our identity as a country? What is the Nigerian identity as a country? Are we a nation? There will be no argument that we are a state. And I think part of why we are meeting today is because we can't satisfactorily answer that question, that we are a nation. Is Nigeria a nation? Why should the national government legislate exclusively or even concurrently on things like marriages, tourism, policing, aspect of taxation, insurance and electricity, issues that clearly should be the responsibility of states? What is the rationale for divesting states of ownership of their natural resources? Why should the Federal Inland Revenue Service be the agency collecting value-added tax from shop owners in the state? Why should the establishment of electric power station, electricity transmission and generation be the exclusive preserve of the federal government? Why should the Federal Ministry of Education and National University Commission issue directives to state universities or reach agreement, collective agreement with labor union that is binding on states? Why should the Federal Road Safety Commission regulate and operate on state roads, including state municipalities, when the federal government will not allow states to regulate traffic on federal roads, even those rehabilitated by states? These are questions that the present constitution has not resolved, and they are questions that borders on true federalism.
Why should they say that military is looking for arms in the houses of local people, and they come to say that 73 game guns? Do you use game guns in warfare now? Or you say a cutlass, or you say an axe? Isn't it? It's being used, and then the terrorists are occupying our houses, our farms, and everywhere in the whole of every part of Southern Kaduna. Let me say, I should say I'm a Nigerian. I am not a Nigerian. I'm from Southern Kaduna. If this is the last time I'm speaking, so be it. I will say like Esther said, if I finish, I finish.
Well, it's like I said, it's a continuous thing. The more educated people are about an issue, the more knowledgeable they become, the more rational they become in their thinking, and of course, at the end of the day, they'll be able to arrive at positions that will be informed by knowledge, not just by sentiments, and be able to also canvass positions that are rational, so that at the end of the day, those concerned with authority, the executive, the legislative hands, will also understand that the people are properly engaged and can actually start or continue to commence this process that we are talking of.
How do we get it to work? If the political will is there, the ideas are there. There have been a lot of political conferences, national conferences, all kinds of conferences. So the idea are already there. It's just to take these ideas and implement them. Some of them will require constitutional changes. So some of them will require enactment of legislation by the National Assembly to bring them about. So restructuring simply means rearrangement so that we can have a country that is working. We can have a country where everybody have a sense of belonging and nobody feels cheated, or no part of the country feels cheated and marginalized. Every one of us, it's not just the leadership. The leadership has to show the example. The leadership lead and the rest of us will follow. But the civil society has a role to play. What we are doing today is part of the civil society mobilization. There are other segments of the civil society, including religious bodies, market women. They should also rise to the occasion and begin to agitate and demand that we should have a constitution that will reflect the wishes of the people. And the government ultimately will have to listen when the people themselves mobilize themselves and get the government to listen. That was how the national conference came into place in the first place in 2014. It was because the people demanded to have a conference, whether sovereign or not, and eventually the government yielded to it. So we can realize it by continuous agitation and mobilization by all segments of the civil society, the media, the market women, the religious body, the journalists, the students. Everyone has to have a stake in the survival of Nigeria as an entity.
And if you have read the report of the conference, you discover that it has undermined at least the starting point for restructuring in Nigeria in terms of every aspect. There is no aspect of the constitution that was not touched. There is no aspect of the agitation that was not addressed, even though they could not agree, like the issue of the derivation or resource control. They could not agree, and we know the politics that is involved in that. But I believe that if the government is really serious about moving Nigeria forward, then the 20% confirm report is the best place to start from.